What is up, y'all? Happy Tuesday. Happy almost August. We are on the 29th of July today. We made it. We are almost in August. You know, the Lionsgate portal opened up yesterday. It's gonna close up on the 12th of August. It'll be at its peak August 8th. Like, it's gonna be amazing. And so I totally hope that y'all have your manifestations ready. I hope that you are currently manifesting and doing all the cleansing that is needed, and, you know, just connecting with your guides, your deities, your ancestors, however you choose to do it. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and hop into it. Okay, so the angel numbers I got for today were 1010, 1919, and 2222. I saw that twice. Okay, so before we get into those, thank you for not only showing up for me, but for showing up for yourselves today and doing the inner work and taking the time to really seek out the guidance that is needed in order to live a healthy, fulfilling life. Because not only is that helping you, but you gotta think, like, every action of ours has a consequence, as well as every inaction, right? And so you deciding to take space in your life and take control of the reins of your life, and, you know, any sort of bullshit that, you know, you may placate in this life, you know, getting sick of it and doing the inner work, just doing the damn thing. I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you. And every action we take has a consequence. There is a ripple effect, a butterfly effect. It's not only affecting you, it affects everybody else, and you just doing the damn thing is amazing. And it just shows how, not only how much you care about yourself, but how much you care about others and, you know, humanity's sake. And I'm just really proud of you, because humanity needs more people who are willing to do the inner work. And I just think you're awesome. But anyway, with that being said, please only take what fits, let the rest sit, let it marinate for those who need it. This message is definitely timeless, so whenever you find it or whenever it finds you is when you are meant to see it. Please understand that energy is super fluid. So, like, he could be a she could be a he, they could be a they could be a she, they could be a he. It doesn't matter. So, like, let's say I'm talking about, like, a King of Swords, you know, or I pull a King of Swords, I could totally be talking about a female energy when referencing that King of Swords. So I feel like that's really important. Okay, so 1010. I don't think we've ever covered number 10, but number 10 is ruled by Pluto. So Scorpio domicile. Okay, that is the sign that is most comfortable in. Scorpio. Taurus detriment, Aries exalt, and Libra fall. So, like, Aries exalt and Libra fall, you know, much like the sun, you know, it's interesting because, like, sun is number 1, right? And then Pluto is 10. And so it kind of, like, goes hand in hand. It's just a bit of a different energy. Okay, so with 1010, your energy is so loud it essentially just fucking speaks for itself. Like, the moment you enter a room, you don't have to say shit. People know you're there. They know it. Like, the moment you fucking clock in, you don't have to say anything. You know, I'm sure that, you know, you're a wonderful presence and you're a ball of fucking sunshine, but people know you're there without you even having to utter a word. I also get that, you know, despite being private and super quiet, you are not going full-on hermit mode, and the divine are so glad, because I also imagine that, at least for y'all, you know, not only are you, like, having to deal with this in real life, But I feel like it's also quite apparent that cyberbullying is a huge thing. I imagine y'all have to deal with it. I feel like, especially nowadays, with, you know, just the lack of humanity, it's just not really taken seriously. And, you know, if you even call it out, you know, people will drag you for that. And, you know, it's easy to see that people love to dogpile too. So it's like, you know, with all of that, I also feel like you are creating a safe space for others. In a time where things just feel so uncertain and so confusing, and I feel like a lot of us have a lot of big emotions and, you know, big dreams and big ideas, and you holding space for that for others, I just think that that's beautiful. And, you know, you doing the work is essentially you cultivating a safe space within yourself. That way when you interact with others, they feel safe as well. And again, I just feel like that's really important. And it's not taken seriously enough. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I also got, now this is in regards to like a work acquaintance, or like, you know, it could even be like a family member that you don't really talk to, but like it's some sort of like being who you're acquainted with, but you're not really close with, at least not anymore. You could have been in the past, but I just feel like for the most part, the tie is severed, the cord is cut. But they're wondering why you are being so secretive, especially if this is in the workplace, okay? And why you no longer entertain energy like theirs. You know, so I feel like this person, you know, for the most part, they could be, if we're talking about a positive sense, you know, they could be funny, they could be a goofball. This person, you know, can be intelligent when they apply themselves. So they could, you know, be a great conversationalist. I also feel like this person is very charming. However, on the shadow aspect, that same person, I feel like, you know, they know these things about themselves as well as the charming part. And they use that to their advantage. And they use other people as stepping stones. And, you know, they'll ride coattails if they have to. They'll lie if they have to. They will lie to your fucking face if they have to. And so them, you know, wondering why you no longer entertain an energy like theirs is like, it's counterintuitive, right? But at the same time, like, they believe their own bullshit so much, the mask that they've put on, the facade that they're catering, they believe it so much, and other people still believe it. But they also know that you can see through them, but they just don't know how much. And so it's also kind of like a bit of paranoia on their part. I also got that you'd rather make a swift, silent exit than have to deal with their BS. But, you know, they're also kind of convinced that, like, you're being really dramatic in this situation, and that, like, you know, again, you need to kind of like take a step back, maybe, you know, hop off your high horse. I heard, you know, it just feels like this person feels like you have a flair for the dramatics. I got a vision of Willy Wonka, not the, you know, newer one, not the Johnny Depp version, but the original, the Gene Wilder version. And I got a vision of Willy Wonka, you know, toward the beginning of the movie, in which, like, everybody who got their golden ticket is waiting at the gate. And I got this vision of Willy Wonka, you know, somersaulting out of his factory and then doing that, you know, interesting walk. But I feel like, you know, all eyes are on you, just like, you know, Willy Wonka. And I feel like you kind of have that energy in which, like, for the most part, you know, you keep to yourself until you're ready to, you know, put out there what it is that you've invented. But that invention has to be done first. You know, it's not necessarily like you're just, you know, telling everybody about all of your ideas and, you know, just, you know, spieling and brainstorming with everybody. I feel like you wait until you're done with your ideas and then you emerge. That's the kind of hermit energy that you carry. You're not necessarily like full on hermit mode, but more so like, we'll call it Willy Wonka mode. You are in your Willy Wonka mode, okay? You'd rather deal with your Oompa Loompas, and that's it. You know, your inner circle, your trusted people, and that's it. It's like, you know, for the most part, you know, if you have to emerge, you will. But for the most part, if it's not adding to your peace, you don't want it. Expect Minnie to be kind of, you know, passive aggressive with you. And know that some are definitely going to try and irk you and provoke you into direct conflict. And for a very small handful of you, some are literally like just going to want to like get into a fist fight with you. When I got that download, I heard One Step Closer by Linkin Park. Let me pull up those lyrics. I'm gonna try and get through these downloads really quickly, that way we can like really get into tarot. And I know that tarot pretty much is like just confirmations for our downloads, but at the same time, like, I really want to get in depth with the imagery and all of that fun shit. Okay, so One Step Closer by Linkin Park. This is their energy, okay? I cannot take this anymore. Saying everything I've said before. All these words, they make no sense. I found bliss in ignorance. Less I hear, the less you say. You'll find that out anyway, just like before. Everything you say to me takes me one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe, 'cause I'm one step closer to the edge. I'm about to break. Okay, so that's how they're feeling. Like, they want to fucking fight. Like, they are at the edge, at the precipice, at the fucking, you know, at their peak with everything. And this person, like, they hold a lot of anger. And for the most part, you know, I feel like, you know, on the outside, they seem pretty chill. But on the inside, dude, like, it's like a volcano. We're just kind of waiting for them to erupt, unfortunately. And that's kind of like a warning from the divine to kind of just be careful. You know, just because they're trying to poke the bear with you, do not poke the bear with them. You know, unless you want to get into a fist fight with someone. But even then, like, yeah, we're maturing here. We're not doing that kind of shit unless we absolutely have to. We don't need to split no wigs here. I also got that someone, more than likely a coworker, again, okay, more than likely a coworker, you know, someone within your arena knows that you know, and this could be that same person we were just talking about. They know that you know their secret, and they're scared of exposure. They know that this will essentially cause like a major tower and, you know, like death type energy from the tarot deck, right? And they've been avoiding this. Like, they have been avoiding looking in the mirror and, you know, realizing that maybe what they are doing is pretty fucked up. And so they're studying you and watching your every move and hoping to gather at least a speck of dirt on you. I kind of do feel like this is that person we were talking about, or like, you know, those coworkers or those acquaintances. It could be multiple people, but, you know, they want that speck of dirt on you, but they are gathering that you pretty much are who you say you are, you know, that, you know, you've done the research, especially if this is in work or, you know, in terms of education or school, whatever. You've done the research. You have a passion that drives you. This fuels you. It's almost like a, you know, if you're neurodivergent, this could be like a hyper interest of yours. okay? Hyperfixation. But you have a passion that fuels you, and you will work tirelessly toward this career path, toward this education. Like, you've got it on lock, okay? And they're realizing that. And they've always kind of known, but I feel like they were also kind of in denial. So, yeah, I heard, and I feel like this is from you. Obviously, this isn't my first rodeo, but it might be my last. And that kind of made me sad. So, please do not let these motherfuckers, like, you keep encountering, especially if it's in, like, your career field or your fucking education, you know, at school. Please do not let them extinguish your flame, because that's exactly what they're trying to do. I am getting that many of you are debating, like, leaving your industry, leaving your field. And that's totally up to you, but please don't let it be these individuals who aren't even, like, you know, worth all the trouble, aren't even, you know, much of, like, a problem, really. They really are just trying to make themselves important. You know, please don't let them be the ones who make you quit, because the devil will send in everyone and everything in his fucking power to knock you down. Just do your best to get back up anyway. I know you're tired. I know you want to be done with everything, and I cannot blame you. Like, they would love to see you fucking crash out and just leave your field, but fuck those people. It is time to dig deep and really embrace your inner fuck you, dude. Just embrace that. And I'm sorry for calling you dude. Again, that millennial bullshit. I'm sorry. But please, please find that inner fuck you. Because fuck those motherfuckers who are trying to get you to back down, especially if this is a passion of yours and, you know, you've done the work. Fuck those people. Okay, these dummies cannot fucking destiny swap with you. They cannot steal your birthright from you. Do not let them instill imposter syndrome within you. I know you're fucking burnt out, dude. I know you're burnt out, but draw yourself a fucking bath, you know, light some candles, put some oil in there, fucking Get comfy cozy, get yourself some fruit, some nuts, some dark chocolate, some tea, some ice water, fucking a glass of wine, your fucking vape, your fucking joint, I don't know, whatever you need. Draw yourself a bath, go lay in that fucking tub, and remind yourself of who the fuck you are and how these people are not worth it. After I got that download, I got No More Tears by Ozzy Osbourne. I feel like that's kind of like you at yourself. I also got Bitch Better Have My Money by, of course, Bad Girl Riri, Miss Rihanna, but Bad Girl Riri. We got Bitch Better Have My Money, and this is kind of like a fun fact. I don't know if, like, many people know this, but she actually wrote that to her accountant who owed her quite a bit of money, and she wrote and performed that to essentially remind her accountant of who she was, and to remind the accountant of what the accountant's place was. Okay? So, if you gotta put people back into their place because they're trying to swap places with you, don't be afraid to put them in their place, because sometimes people need to be checked. I know damn well I need to be checked sometimes. Like, I feel like if it weren't for Justin checking me, my therapist checking me, my sisters checking me, you know, friends checking me over time, like, family checking me, like, I feel like I'd be running amok too. So, don't be afraid to check people. You know, you could be helping them quite a bit in the long run. I feel like you just dropped a major habit that you've been kind of using for comfort, but you didn't realize was actually, like, bringing you a lot of anxiety. For instance, excuse me, by the way. For instance, like you might be like dropping caffeine. You might be dropping cigarettes. You might be dropping reality TV. You know, I know a lot of people watch the Kardashians, but at the same time, they're sitting there comparing themselves to these women who, you know, are very beautiful, but, you know, they look the way they do because they got the surgery to look that way. And you shouldn't be comparing yourself to that. I also get that some of you, like, might be considering surgery. If you really want to, like, that is up to you, but, you know, going under the knife is a big deal. And I think you should definitely sit on it for a little longer and pray about it. And I want to remind you that you are beautiful. You know, you were, if you are a believer in God, you know, or whomever, you were created in their image, okay? You are perfect the way you are. You are perfectly imperfect, and that's beautiful, that's unique, that's what makes you you. And I feel like, you know, a lot of you are coming to embrace what you look like physically, and I'm very proud of you. But I also understand that sometimes we, you know, we all can have those off days. So that might even be like the habit that you're letting go of, is comparing yourself to other people. And if so, kudos to you. Find your inner fuck you. I also got Ouroboros, Strophilos, just that sort of like Hecate energy. You are definitely gonna get some closure with 1010, okay? Cycles are coming to an end. I also got that this is in regards to that acquaintance again, okay? Or those acquaintances, that group, whomever, whatever the fuck they are. Your silence is deafening, and they feel that you're retracting your energy. Like, they can literally feel it. You know, I also feel like they keep lying, and like you've uncovered so many truths about them already. So continue to document every single lie, you know, every ill-intentioned interaction with them. And if you find yourself like feeling bad or forgetting like how they were toward you, remind yourself with that documentation. I also got that they're worried that you know about how terribly they might treat others outside of work or outside of this particular arena, outside of, you know, school, what have you. Like, this is really paranoid energy, but like they're just not a very kind individual. If this is cyberbullying, I heard there's no need to get louder. Like, keep letting your voice carry for sure. Don't hermit, don't shut the fuck up, but also don't get loud. Confidence is calm and steady, not loud. Do not let them knock you off your game, because that's exactly what they're trying to do. Okay, moving on to 1919. So, as for one, as we had just talked about, Sun, you know, it's related to the Sun, Leo domicile, Aquarius detriment, but much like number 10, we have Aries exalt for number 1 and Libra fall for number 1 as well. So they kind of go hand in hand in that energy and that aspect. We also have number 9, so 1919, number 9. 9 aligns with Mars. So Scorpio and Aries domicile. Lots of Scorpio and Aries energy. Taurus and Libra detriment. Okay. And then Cancer fall. I feel like immediately right off the bat, this is a swift reminder that like this isn't your place to, you know, harbor much judgment. But if you want to cut the cord, please do. If you want to, like, you know, stop fucking with them, please do. But judgment and justice, like, that is up to the universe, and, you know, it's going to serve justice and judgment as it sees fit. I also got that, like, you have a really huge heart. Like, huge. But not everyone deserves your generosity, nor the benefit of the doubt, which I feel like you hand out, like, you know, fucking money to the church, right? You're such a sweetie. But not everybody deserves that, okay? You have been giving this to them over and over, and I get it. You are just a sweetheart, and I think that's lovely. I would give you a big ol' hug, and I understand that, like, you know, maybe you look like you, like, have a tough exterior, but maybe you're mushy-gushy inside, and I think that's beautiful, but this person is using that to their advantage, and, you know, I feel like they just are going to keep using it to their advantage. So it's up to you how you want to move. I'm also hearing that not all is as it seems. Okay. So come September, there is going to be a situation that is going to show you exactly who they are. You're going to see them for exactly who they are. And this will help you wrap up the connection. It's going to simultaneously, like, give you the ick, because you're going to see this person for who they are. But at the same time, you will be relieved that you're being relocated away from this person. Because as we've been saying for the past few readings, you both are going to go through relocation. Okay? So you're going to be relocated first, and then them, okay? So in September, this is when they're going to face their judgment and their justice. And the reason being is because you're no longer there because you got relocated first. You're no longer there for them to ride your coattails. And so whatever the fuck they were doing is plain as day now. Gosh. Okay, they should have, like, never tried to hitch a ride on your coattails, especially if, like, if they didn't plan on being an asset and were absolutely comfortable and even boasting about being a liability to others. Like, you're going to learn about this too. You are going to learn so much about this person. You're going to be so happy that you did not, you know, decide to keep fucking with them. I'm getting that they, like, literally confided in someone who had their eye on this person, who has been watching this person too. But they are, like, kind of, like, boasting about the fucked up shit that they do to that person, and that person has been watching them too, and that's going to be, like, part of their judgment. So, you know, allow what you learn to kind of, like, be your closure. This might even be like a, you know, a dating situation. Again, not all is as it seems. I got called to talk about this individual named Trevor from Love is Blind season 6. Like, in the beginning of Love is Blind, like, you just think that, you know, Trevor is this, like, teddy bear with this big old scary exterior, like, meathead, low IQ dude. And, you know, he goes on to show that he's pretty smart and he has, like, really big feelings, and that, you know, he falls in love, quote unquote, with this girl named Chelsea. But fast forward to the end of the season and the reunion, and, you know, it turns out Trevor was dating a woman. He was with a woman prior to going into the experiment of Love is Blind, and he put that on pause. He asked her to wait for him, to which she did. Then he goes in, falls in love, gets rejected, comes back out, messages that woman that he was dating originally, and asks her to marry him. And, you know, just completely turns to mush again. But it's like, they turn to mush. Trevor turned to mush in order to manipulate. And that's the scary part. So, do with that what you will. Okay, this could be like someone that you dated. Do with that what you will. They know damn well they're a liability and not an asset. So, if they're boasting about this, like, do with that what you will. Just remember that, like, this wasn't personal. This is just how this person operates, okay? And it's kind of all that they know. Then again, like, this person also thinks that they're the bee's knees and they're great and inner work is, I heard this, quote unquote, is for sissies. Or they still, like, somehow find it taboo. So, the idea of, like, inner work or therapy or anything of that nature is just, you know, terrifying to them. But they brush it off by mocking it. That's gross. Anyway, I just want to let you know that you will not be dealing with this person much longer, but get your popcorn ready if you want to, because you get front row seats to this. Their story is going to continue to unravel right before your very eyes, and you get to watch it without having to deal with it. Like, all of their skeletons are coming to the surface, and, you know, if you want to watch their karma, that's up to you, but I also understand if you don't want to, because it's kind of hard watching people go through that kind of stuff. Okay, moving on to 2222, which we saw twice, by the way. Alright, so as we know, 2 is ruled by the moon, so Cancer domicile, Capricorn detriment, Taurus exalt, Scorpio fall. No matter what you choose to do, my friend, you and your loved ones will be okay. Okay, like if you choose on like leaving this industry, that is okay. If you choose to continue in this industry, like everything's gonna be okay. Whatever you choose will be okay. Like, things will balance out. You will not have to juggle anymore, and any sort of guesswork that you were dealing with, like, you won't have to deal with that during this new chapter. It doesn't matter what you choose, but all I'm saying is, you know, if you want to stay, you can. Please do not let these fucking demons run you off because they want to act demonic. Okay? Okay. I also got connect to the moon, so like definitely do some rituals or relax by bathing in the moonlight while reflecting on things. I also got that someone here, their stress levels are going to be managed, their cortisol is going to plummet, your cycle, your menstrual cycle, that is going to even out, and or your pH levels. Those will be balancing out too. I also heard that you should be drinking water with a higher alkalinity. I saw the color baby blue, and I heard for some of you it's a boy. So if you're pregnant, for some of you it's a boy. You already know this, so I'm getting. I also get that some of you have a spirit baby that is trying to come through and connect with you. I'm not sure if we talked about this last reading, but spirit babies don't have to be like, you know, babies that you're going to bring into this lifetime. They're just, you know, souls that have been connected to your soul before, and they stay connected to your soul. And if you choose to bring their soul into this lifetime, it would come through the form of a baby or even a pet sometimes. But pets are more so like those other familiar spirits of, like, you know, guides and whatnot. And while spirit babies can be guides, they are also meant to be nurtured. Pets too, but you understand. With baby blue, you know, we can think of, it doesn't even have to be baby blue. Let's just say blue. We can think of like tranquility, divinity, spirituality, purity, reliability and trustworthiness, fresh outlooks and new beginnings, things like that. I got that aqua ore quartz, blue lace agate, and lapis lazuli and sodalite would be very helpful for you right now. You should also focus on other ways to open up your throat chakra, such as wearing blue, eating blue things, such as blueberries, things of that nature. Emotional healing, authentic self-expression, like, I just feel like you're going to be, like, uncensored right now. Like, there is so much spiritual growth coming into this next chapter, and I'm so excited for you. Like, I got, like, triple moon goddess energy again. So, like, full moon mother energy. As we know, the triple moon goddess is the mother, or excuse me, the maiden, the mother, and the crone. And she represents the different moon cycles. And when she is full, that is the mother energy. And I feel like that's you right now. Definitely nurture yourself, you know. I feel like you're also definitely healing some mother wounds or any wounds having to do with other feminine energies. I'm so proud of you. Oh my gosh, this is really heavy work, y'all. But nonetheless, I also got that right now your aura is very refreshing, almost like minty 5 gum. Like, I got like goosebumps, and like I thought of those commercials from 5 gum. If you're looking for some aromatherapy, especially something rain scented, combine cedar, leather, and sweet tobacco. Thank me later. I also got that those are kind of like the vibes you give: cedar, leather, and sweet tobacco. Those all smell so good. Oh my god. But I also got petrichor, so that might be important to some of y'all. I also got magnolias and morning glories. These flowers may be important to you, and I will allow y'all to look up the symbolism to those. You are also giving off goddess and god energy. Y'all are glowing right now, super radiant. Think of like a full moon lighting the way. Moonlit path. That's like the kind of energy you are. I also got that your intuition was on point all along. Check out the signs. Like, really reflect on the signs, especially if you've been journaling. Oh, I loved this. I channeled Coming Clean by Hilary Duff. I'll let you listen to that or look up the lyrics. Thank you, Hilary Duff, for Coming Clean. But I'm getting that you are also dropping your own mask. Okay, so like, for example, if you have like a customer service mask, you're not going to be fucking wearing that anymore. You are going to be authentically you 24/7, 365. Okay, mother, full moon energy, loving you, doing you, nurturing you, the best of you, just doing yo thing. I love it. Let's go ahead and pull out a deck. No, Biggie, you stay right there, sir. You leave Lulu alone. She's got her diaper on and she wants to be left alone. Thank you. Ugh. He's obsessed with her, I swear. I don't blame you. She's beautiful, but she wants to be left alone, bud. Ugh. What's that other deck? I hope I didn't lose it. Well, what's in here? Let's see. Got my Modern Witch in here. I've got that Oracle deck and my mini tarot deck. Where are my other decks? Let me pause this so y'all don't have to listen to me looking for this and talking to myself. Okay, y'all, I found him. Gosh, okay, let me see if I can move this with you on it. I have a trunk by my bed, and it holds like all of our pants and stuff. And Biggie likes to sit on it. Ugh. Oh, my mom's sending me stuff. That's cool. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's pull a card, a singular card, from our Moonology deck. This is by Yasmin Boland with artwork by Nick Rowan. I cleaned the whole house today. So it feels nice and fresh in here. Like the weather, like it's kind of like gloomy out, like kind of stormy, but hasn't stormed yet today. Other than this morning. I think like early this morning it did, but right now it's just kind of gloomy, and I got the AC on and it's perfect. I feel like that's kind of like your energy, you know, like a nice, cool, comfortable room on a stormy day. You know, maybe some hot soup, like a pozole, some tortillas, cornbread. Okay, I'm making myself hungry, but let's go ahead and pull from Moonology. Okay. And I believe I should read from the booklet, but I'll also give like my intuitive interpretation. I just feel channeled to read from the booklet. Ooh! We got, oh my gosh. Show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. You are dropping the mask and you are going to be authentically you. 24/7, 365, like we just said. Okay, that's the main energy. Overall energy, my friend, you and your loved ones are safe. Full moon Aquarius, new moon in Cancer. What's up? Let me go ahead and read from the booklet. I feel like that shit is self-explanatory, but let me read to you from the booklet. We're going to read you and your loved ones are safe first, since that's our overall energy. Okay, let me actually take a swig of my water and then we'll get into it, because I can feel my throat getting kind of dry. Okay. Let's see. You and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer. There's a new start coming in your private life. Something is rising up in connection with the people and places you hold dearest. This can be to do with a member of your family, a flatmate, or moving house. If you're hoping to move forwards with something special in your private life, this card comes to you as a message that you can do it. If you've been neglecting your family, it's time to reconnect with them. If you've been neglecting yourself, you need to take better care of yourself and nurture yourself more. If your insecurity is holding you back, that's something for you to work on now. Doing so could bring you your heart's desire. Attuned to the moon. Make sure you put your family first. Additional meanings for this card. Let someone get a bit closer to you. A new cycle is starting for your child or your children. It's time to review your goals. Have they changed? Meditation will help you banish your insecurities. Spending time near water will bring you peace and answers. The teaching. The new moon in Cancer can be a super emotional time. The moon is all about emotions, and Cancer is a water sign and also very emotional. Not only that, but it's Cancer domicile. Okay? Like we got 2222 up in here. Like there is so much emotion behind all of this, and I feel like a lot of it is fear. And like, let me just finish this. The moon is all about emotions, and Cancer is a water sign and also very emotional. Saying that the moon is very happy in the sign of Cancer. Yep, Cancer domicile. It's one of her 2 home signs, along with Taurus. So whenever you pull it, this card suggests that whatever happens next will be in your favor. It's especially positive for family matters. So, like, I feel like, especially with Show the World the Real You and the overall energy of you and your loved ones are safe, like, I feel like, you know, you are scared to make a decision here. And, like, you feel like, you know, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I feel like that's just how you feel. But the divine wants you to know that, like, no matter what you do, if you stay, if you fucking go, you will be okay. If you choose to go down a new career path because this just, you know, it's left you too jaded, you are going to have to still do the work and, you know, figure out like what to do about the experience that left you jaded and unpack that. But if you want to move on to a new career path, like if you want to start studying something new and like, you know, going to a new school, you know, dropping your major for a new one, that's okay. If you want to stay and, you know, allow this relocation to happen and, you know, allow that person to just unravel themselves, come September, they will be relocated too. And if that's like the only thing that is bothering you about this situation, then like, you know, boom, problem solved, it's gone. Okay? Like, and you'll be able to see their karma. So it's like bing, bada, boom, win-win. Yeah, so let's go ahead and read Show the World the Real You. But with Show the World the Real You, like, you deserve to do what makes you happy, okay? You deserve to focus on your passion and your drive and your life and your stability. Whatever you need and want, you can focus on that as long as it's not hurting anybody. Okay. Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. This card brings the message from the cosmos that you need to detach a little from whatever situation you're asking about. Someone might be keeping you at arm's length right now, but it's no bad thing. It's important for you to allow life to unfold and progress, even if change seems like a frightening prospect. If you've been holding yourself back from showing the world the real you, this card reminds you that your unique characteristics are what made you special. What make you special? In a relationship, are you being too aloof or too detached? Go ahead and be yourself in whatever is coming up for you. Attune to the moon. Be aware of your feelings, but also be prepared to move on. Gosh, I couldn't have said it better. Thank you, Moonology. Thank you, Yasmin Boland. Additional meanings for this card. Don't lose the beauty and romance of life. Like, please, dude. Like, me just adding on to this, my 2 cents. Like, do not let these fucking people who want to act like demons demonize you and make you lose your interest in this field, in this major, whatever, what have you, in this, you know, this situation, this arena. Just because they want to act like a whole demon, okay? Don't lose the beauty and romance of life. You're too much in your head. Get into your heart. A friend needs you to be there for them. A situation is going to take a very unexpected turn. The teaching. Every full moon is a time to release and let go. But the addition of Aquarian energy to the mix triples this message. Aquarius is the opposite of clingy, and pulling this card at any time suggests either you need to let go, or someone is thinking that they are the ones who need to let go, perhaps of you. What needs to go? What is the right thing to do? Whatever happens next could be highly unconventional or unexpected. Alright, be right back, guys. I'm going to let you sit on that for a sec. Little interruption, be right back. Okay, y'all, I am back. It was actually a pretty big interruption. It would end. Tidied up a little bit and showered, and now I'm ready to rumble. Okay, so the deck I wanted to pull from, we will go ahead and use, let's do the Disney Villains Tarot deck. And this is by Minerva Siegel with illustrations by Ellie Goldwyn. We've got the 3 of Wands at the top of the deck. I split the deck and we got True Love. Ooh. Definitely a big decision. Big decision to be made here. But either way, it's like, you know, whatever floats your boat in the end is essentially what's going to work out for you. Whatever you want the most, whatever makes you the most happy, whatever drives your passion, whatever fuels that fire. Okay. lot, but we will take it. So for crowning energy, we have 10 of coins in reverse, the 4 of wands, we have temperance in reverse, we have the chariot in reverse. Okay, let's go ahead and get main energy. There's lots of blue here, so again, blue is significant. You know, definitely, when asked, it's not like you're going out of your way to, like, you know, talk about all of this, but when asked about the situation by, you know, those who may be of higher rank, you know, such as HR, or, you know, the dean or the principal, what have you, don't be afraid to speak your truth, you know, and talk about, like, how things have been imbalanced, things have been unfair, how this individual has held you back, how, you know, if they are above you and they don't know what they're doing, how, you know, you feel like they're, again, a liability more than an asset. You know, if you're having to teach them, talk about that, you know, it's not only detrimental for you and your career, but it's detrimental for the company too. So it's important that they know. It's not like, you know, unless like there's some sort of like nepotism or something, it's not like they're, you know, completely privy like you are. Because you're there on a day-to-day basis. You get to, you know, work day in and day out with this individual or individuals. Okay, what is the main energy? Hopefully not too many cards, I just want a couple. Okay. Knight of coins and 6 of coins. Okay. Oppressed energy, let's go ahead and get some of that. I'm not taking all of those. Oppressed energy, we have Queen of Wands, 3 of Coins, and the Hierophant. For overall, we have the 5 of Wands, the, what is this, the 6 of Swords? No, that's 4. Okay, that's the 4 of Swords. True Love, so the lovers, we have the 2 of Wands. Wow, we have the Devil, and we have the King of Cups in reverse. Okay. Again, crowning energy is 10 of coins in reverse, the 4 of wands, we have temperance in reverse, chariot in reverse, and then the main energy is the knight of coins and the 6 of coins. So again, like, especially with the 3 of coins and 6 of coins out here, you know, and the 10 of coins in reverse, I definitely feel like this could totally be, you know, a work aspect or education aspect. With the Knight of Coins in reverse and the Chariot in reverse, I feel like, you know, you might be at a standstill and you're not entirely sure of what's going on in the background. And that's why we have the suppressed and oppressed energy, being the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Wands in reverse, by the way, the 3 of Coins, and the Hierophant. Let me go ahead and skip this. So with those, like, I feel like you're feeling like you're at a standstill because, like, you know, you see that this person is in this Hierophant position. You know, with the 3 of Coins, you're trying to make it work, but this person with the Queen of Wands in reverse just keeps riding your coattails. They don't know what they're doing, you know. They're very insecure, you know. They might act like occasionally that they know what they're doing, but it's really, you know, again, with the 3 of Coins, just relying on you and hoping that you'll help them uphold this position. I feel like, you know, there is definitely, especially with the Five of Wands and the Four of Swords, true love and the Two of Wands, King of Cups in reverse and the Devil, there's that competition here. That is definitely competition energy. And it's like, I feel like you went into this with Six of Coins attitude. You know, you wanted to, and the Three of Coins here. You know, you wanted to give as much as you received, but it seems like you're just giving way too much. And this is almost like a charity case, if you will. At least, you know, the divine see it this way, because this person is literally your charity case if they are in this position and they do need to, you know, use your work as, you know, maybe even like taking credit for your work, but utilizing your work to help them excel. I see, like, in the Hierophant card, there is a mug of coffee behind this individual that says World's Greatest Boss. And, like, legit, like, this person thinks they have no work to do. They think they're amazing. They think they're, you know, they just think they're the bee's knees. With Temperance in reverse, especially with the Chariot in reverse, like, I feel like, you know, this imbalance is just like coming to a head, and everything's going to come to a screeching stop pretty soon, especially as soon as you're relocated. Like, you kind of, like, with the Four of Wands out here next to the Ten of Coins, like, you are like what is creating stability within this person's work environment. And, you know, I don't see really many swords out here, so obviously there's no communication here. With the Queen of Wands in reverse, you know, it's the picture of the Queen from the Snow White, like, as her, you know, regular self, as well as the Queen as her, you know, banshee, old woman, like, type self. This could be like this person is just kind of like at war with themselves and their mind, and it's just kind of like spilling over into their material world now with the Three of Coins and the Hierophant. Could you leave her alone, please, bud? I feel like this person is definitely going to have, or maybe even fake having, like, car problems or bicycle problems, depending on what mode of transportation they use. Okay, Tower in reverse. Let's get one more. See, like, they've been avoiding this Tower energy. Six of Cups in reverse. And the Five of Wands in reverse. And then overall energy, Justice in reverse. Seven of Swords. And the Nine of Wands. Like, this person, like, they realize that you are the wounded warrior, and that, you know, you pretty much are upholding them, and you're the reason why they're crowned. But at the same time, like, you know, they don't feel bad for what they're doing. With the Five of Wands in reverse, again, this could totally be a war in their mind that is, like, you know, spiraling out of control and outside of them, and, like, you know, spreading and infiltrating, especially into their work life, and, you know, their personal relationships as well. With the Six of Cups in reverse next to the Tower in reverse and the Five of Wands in reverse, like, you know, I kind of feel like, you know, this person has been confronted with this problem numerous times, but they just refuse to see that it's a problem. They've just been avoiding it. And I feel like, you know, this is how they got through school. If they're done with school and, like, it's career, or this is how they're getting through school. Like, they're willing to do pretty much, like, whatever it takes to ensure that they're where they need to be, even if that means, quote-unquote, stepping on the little people. I feel like this person comes from a very privileged background. Like, they might have not had, like, all the money in the world, but, like, their parents or a parent, you know, gave them a life of privilege by honestly never saying no to them. I feel like they're, especially with the poison apple on the Five of Wands here, like I feel like they're very spoiled. And they don't realize like how poisonous they are. This person is very immature. I mean, we had the King of Cups in reverse out earlier. And then we have the Seven of Swords out here, and then Justice in reverse. Like, they don't see it coming. And then being that it's the Nine of Wands, you know, going back to the 9, so this will definitely come in September. Just watch. Just wait, just watch. Okay. Ooh, that flew out. Is that the Nine of Swords? Yeah, this person's very paranoid. Like, they're wondering, like, and they're never going to say this to you, but they're wondering what exactly you know. And what exactly you've already, you know, like, maybe told your higher-ups, or, again, if this is education, the dean, or if this is, like, family, you know, the matriarch or the patriarch of the family, they're scared that you told them. We have the Knight of Swords in reverse. Yeah, this person would never say it. If anything, like, they'd spiral and crash out and, you know, act a fool before they ever, you know, talk about this or admit that they're paranoid. They'd rather just, you know, carry the burden of being paranoid with the Ten of Wands out here. They'd also rather you just carry their burdens, because it is, like, you know, surprisingly easier for them to just wear this mask than it is to own up to their shit. Seven of Cups in reverse. Knight of Wands. Nine of Cups in reverse. The Devil in reverse. And the Fool and the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, this was very foolish of this person. With the Nine of Cups in reverse, like, I hear, and then the Seven of Cups, like, I feel like this is even, like, haunting their dreams. Like, in their dream state. If they do sleep, you know, because we had the Nine of Swords out here. If they do sleep, this haunts their dreams, and they think about it a lot. And that's the only, like, real guilt that they may feel in this situation, to be honest. With the Knight of Wands, like, you know, obviously they're running away from their own fears and running away from themselves, but they don't realize it. With the Devil in reverse, the Fool, you know, and the Wheel of Fortune, like, it's a matter of time before they're just met with themselves. What was that? I thought I saw death, but I think I'm tripping. Yeah, I think I'm tripping. Okay. Let's put this stick away. Vicky, leave her alone, please. Thank you, Bubs. Let's go ahead and get some from the Modern Witch Tarot deck. This is the Modern Witch Tarot deck by Lisa Sturrell. Alright. Is there any advice that you could give us for this situation? We got the Queen of Pentacles out here. Okay, let's get two more. The Six of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. Okay, so that's main energy. Overall energy is the Four of Wands in reverse, the Ten of Swords in reverse, the Ace of Swords in reverse, the Ten of Cups in reverse, the Nine of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the Nine of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. I feel like this is just like reminding you that, like, you know, whatever is meant to be yours, even if it's materialistic, you know, with the Queen of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups, because in this particular deck, and the Six of Pentacles, because with this particular deck, the Seven of Cups, it shows this witchy woman looking up towards the clouds, and then there are 7 chalices with 7 different options. So it's like, yes, you have a lot of options, but these have all been gifted to you from the universe, and you're welcome to pick your choosing. You know, each chalice has something within it, be it a snake, a tornado, a wreath, and I imagine that's for celebrations, a heart, a rose, a goblet of money, a fist, which I assume again is to represent, you know, wrath. In essence, I suppose this could even like represent the 7 deadly sins, if you really wanted to think about it that way. So it's like, I understand, and the divine understand why, like, you're nervous to choose, because I feel like you have, you know, definitely feel like you've chosen incorrectly before. With the Four of Wands in reverse and the Ten of Swords in reverse, and the Ace of Swords in reverse and the Ten of Cups in reverse, the Nine of Wands, the Ace of Cups in reverse, like, you're scared. You're scared to make a choice. Like, you essentially feel like you don't know if you and your loved ones are safe, because you are taking into account the butterfly effect, the ripple effect, in which, like, you know, each choice you make has its own consequences. And while that is true, as long as you have good intention behind it, and with the Six of Pentacles, that's exactly what we're reminded of, you know, the balance of things. It depends on what your intention is. If you have good intentions, the universe is happy to help you out, and happy to, you know, gift you things along the way to get you to where it is that you need. And, you know, on top of that, you know, with the Six of Pentacles being a charity card, don't forget about the little people, because if I remember correctly, it was either during the downloads or during another deck pool, but just a few minutes ago, we were talking about how this person said that they don't mind stepping on the little people to get there. But with the Queen of Pentacles out here, you know, like, again, you could be feminine, masculine, it doesn't matter, but you are going to be in this energy, and this is part of your advice. It's just, you know, sit tight and realize your worth, you know, especially how much worth you bring toward this company, towards, you know, this business, if this is some sort of place of business that we're talking about. You know, give yourself the time and space that you need, and continue not only cultivating within yourself, but within your work as well. If you see that it's worth it, it's worth it. I know you're tired. I know you're burnt out. I know you're the Nine of Wands right now. But we also have the Nine of Cups, and again, 2 queens, Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands out here. I heard the song, I think it's called Wish by Diplo and Trippie Redd, where he's like, I don't know how to wish on anymore. Keep on wishing. I don't know how to wish anymore. Keep on wishing. I don't know how to wish anymore. Or do I? So it's like, I get it that you're scared, and I get it that it seems like, you know, it's really confusing. It's like, which option's the right option? You know, how will I ensure that this not only benefits me with the Queen of Pentacles, but that it benefits all parties involved with the Six of Pentacles? So I'm really proud of you for trying to, really look at things from an outside perspective as you are right now. And it's like, I get it. I understand the fear, but at the same time, it's like, with the Ten of Swords in reverse and the Four of Wands in reverse, and then we saw the Fool earlier with the other deck. It's like, if you don't take that leap of faith, you may never know, and you may end up with more regrets than anything. If you don't take that leap of faith, it's almost like you're hurting yourself, and you're choosing to, like this other person, run away from any mistakes that you've made rather than learn from them and learn how to build upon them or build from them. I feel like that's why we have the contrast of the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands, because together, they're both like major homemaker energy, major nurturing energy, except one's a little more fiery than the other. One's a little more subdued than the other. One is a go-getter, the other is, someone who doesn't mind being at home and taking care of the animals and, just the domesticity of things. Whereas the Queen of Wands, she loves getting out there. She has a drive, a passion, for her career. So in essence, it's almost like, despite things being unclear with the Ace of Swords, and despite the hurt that has come, from this with the Nine of Wands and the Ace of Cups in reverse and the Ten of Cups in reverse, despite how much it has affected, how much any past decisions have affected your current life, it is never too late for a new start. You have so many options in front of you, and I almost feel like you don't realize it, or it's, again, it's just overwhelming and you're wondering which one is the best one. There is no right answer. These are all options given to you, and you are welcome to take whatever you want. Just be, open to any sort of pros and cons that comes with each option. Maybe make a list weighing out these pros and cons. But yeah, I definitely feel like this has to do with, we saw the Four of Wands earlier, and we have so many Pentacles out here and so many Wands. I definitely feel like this has to do with, your career path or education or something like that. Definitely family, too, because in the Queen of Pentacles card, we have both the goat as well as the bunny. I feel like there's just such a divine radiance and glow to you, and that's also why we have the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles out here. It's like, that's your duality. You have this spice and this go-getter attitude, but you also have this gentle, nurturing being within you. The yin and the yang, almost. Whatever makes you happy, friend. That's kind of all that matters. And, definitely do take into consideration how your choices may affect others, especially, your family with the bunny here. But at the same time, realize you are not a charity case, and people cannot ride your coattails to the top just because you're headed to the top, if that's where you so choose. Alright, I am gonna go ahead and end it here. Let's see. By all that is divine, I will now close and exit this reading. Thank you for illuminating the path and for not retreating. Our session has now come to an end, and this advice I shall not bend. Please be safe on your path and keep me safe in the aftermath. Blessed be. It shall be like that and that.